boys, today we're going to be talking all about the bottleneck X factor on defense. Now, this is an ability that is really starting to catch on, I think, a lot in online head-to-head. And this is a little bit different than some of the stuff we've done on this channel, but this is actually a card review as well, showing you guys some cards that maybe you were sleeping on to really help you deal with this meta, right? Now, there's a couple of different ways people like to run like this man coverage type of defense. It's either a shaded down 2-man in a Sin 3 style of defense with all the D-line X factors. That's what we're going to take a look at. Or they can go a heavy pressure look as well. No matter what, though, you're going to be covered right here. I think for the most part, though, it's a lot of shaded down 2-man. And now the very first thing we're going to go over on offense is we're going to take out some of our really great receivers, right? We can even leave Marvin Harrison Jr. in the game, though, who is probably the best receiver in the game. And we can just run some things that normally we're like, okay, is going to get open versus man. And we're going to see, like, for instance, we're just going to try to clear this out right here. We're going to go double like 2 post routes right here with Darrell Revis and Charvarius Ward. Charvarius Ward on the solo side player, Barrios right there, and then Revis on Marvin Harrison. And if we run this right, you're going to notice like, hey, both of them are in absolute like a cage, can't throw it right. And then combo that with the fact that, hey, we just have a D-line X factor on the line. We are getting shedded, right? Other things we can try like a corner route, like say like a C route right here as well. I know a lot of people are big fans of the C route, but even if we do go ahead and try to throw that, right? Like he won off the rip. If we go ahead and try to throw that, right? Like he did win off the jump right there. Barrios is in a cage, but if we go ahead and just say, hey, we're going to go ahead and throw that, that is something that actually does a good job no matter what receiver, but that's something we can build upon as well. Like me personally, when I see shaded down 2-man, what I want to do is I want to hit streaks, right? Like last year with short out elite, which we do have on Marvin Harrison Jr. right here as well. It was just so easy to just lob up a streak, throw it over the top. But now with the bottleneck dominantly winning, it's getting super, super tough. And really all we have right now is the C route, right? Like that's the only thing we can throw off the rip so far. I don't want to really rely on that, right? And like I said, I want to have the threat of sometimes maybe Marvin Harrison being open on a streak right here. I want to hit that. So the question is, besides a singular C route, what do we have to counter these bottlenecks, right? Because you're going to see like, now right here, this is like the worst route combo ever, but we're just going to show like a drag and a zig as well right here. And you're going to see the like, they just get their routes ran for them. And winning off the press like that with the D-line X factor too, you're starting to see kind of why we're running into some problems maybe, right? It's a lot of the routes that we're used to. And even when they send 4 like this too, like just getting like these random sheds, it's really annoying. Like I can't throw this right here because this is going to be knocked out. I also cannot throw this route really either because this will also be knocked out. So there's just a ton of things that we're used to, okay, drags, all this other stuff, beating man coverage, that just really isn't doing it versus the bottlenecks. Now, we're going to talk about how to win off the press. Keep in mind, we had Marvin Harrison Jr., number 18 right here on the outside. We're going to play CD Lamb right there. We're going to move Marvin Harrison to the slot, and we're also going to move OBJ to our solo side receiver right here. And now the whole entire purpose of why we're in this Y off trips a week, aka the U trips, this is something that I was thinking, right? What is the most guaranteed man beater specifically to the tight end, right? And for me, that is tight end whip, the whip route, the zig route to the tight end, unique route in the formation. And this is something that I want them to have to respect, right? So the Higbee route right here, this is what we're saying, hey, this is going to beat man coverage. This is going to be open. Now, what we're going to do this time right here is we're going to streak CD Lamb. Now, did you see that off the jump right there? He instantly beat the bottleneck press of Darrell Revis. Now, you might be wondering, what is different about CD Lamb compared to Marvin Harrison Jr.? Well, he gets a built-on X factor. That's not yak him up. He actually gets that double me X factor. And this is something that we have been talking about on the channel as well. Why double me is still good. Double me isn't good because you can like highball the ball and like ag catch versus these defenders. Double me is good because it gives you a chance to insta beat the man press. Now you saw right there, that obviously didn't work, right? It's not going to be a 1-to-1. This is very inconsistent, right? Right there, we got it. You know what I'm saying? Like that is just something that is going to be a little bit inconsistent, but double me, it can do that. And I want to have that threat. I don't want them to feel like, hey, they can run man coverage basically every single time, right? I want to be able to hit that, especially in the pocket versus the deep half, because what we have off of that as well is just a good man beater period, right? This running back route to Michael Penix Jr. can do a decent job at beating man coverage. Now, if that's like a universal or something, it also can get KO'd. You can put them on like an option route. So again, CD Lamb right here is a big part of our man beater, right? And again, we have the tight end. So now when we're talking about beating the press, right? It's not only like a streak route that can beat the press though. It's things like post routes over the middle of the field, like getting that possession catch right there, get him out the way, right? And then CeeDee Lamb can also do that while also having the threat of a streak too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like everything together, I think really makes this formation, this formation. You know what I'm saying? That time the deep half got a KO. That's going to happen sometimes, right? He insta beat the man press. We threw it the exact same way. Game is a little bit inconsistent, but also right here, what you're going to notice is that time, okay, so the running back ran into OBJ, but it really doesn't matter that we didn't complete the pass. What I wanted to show y'all, right? This on the other side of the field is max security. This is not double me. Now, there's two X factors you should look for. Max security, because it can do this as well. You see, we just ran into the running back man, obviously, and we can go ahead and insta beat the man press on streaks as well. And this is something to where, again, it's not just about the streak though. It's the post. It's even potentially now, we're on the short side of the field, so this might get a little bit caged, but even sometimes being able to win on a corner route. That time, obviously, the bottleneck still won. It's not 100% of the time it's going to work, but we could do something like this right here, where we have an angle route to the running back that is a really good man beater. And that time, guess what? The corner route actually did win. Again, very 50-50, but you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to talk about all these like ways to beat press, and we're going to talk about some cards in a second. I just want to talk about as well, like, okay, now they start shading, like say they shade outside right here. Well, guess what? We have a post, we have a zig, and we have a streak as well. The post and the zig should like get a lot of yards, right? And that's versus basically a universal coverage Charvarius Ward with one step. All right, now let's go ahead and say they shade to the inside this time, right? Like, let's go ahead and say the shade to the inside. That time, we don't have CeeDee Lamb. He's not open. We have our tight end whip route, and OBJ on the cut is going to get open on that route too. Now, let's go ahead and say they shade up this time, like faking the press, and they shade up. Well, guess what? This time it just makes our X receiver and our tight end even more open. So pretty much what we want them to have to do, even if they have to try to play a zone, right? Like, let's go ahead and do that this time with like a send 3 with the tight end whip route, right? Like them just putting a purple on the field. We still have a pocket where we can go ahead and hit that. That's a mid zone. That's a flat zone defender right there too. So you can still hit that. It's a very annoying route to guard. We want the user to go with that. We want basically them to say, hey, either I'm going to leave the running back and try to guard the tight ends, or they start going like crazy with these zones right here and say they do something like this, right? Where, okay, they just have faith in their two bottlenecks, right? Let's go ahead and run a double streak play this time. And that time, OBJ got a little separation. Can we get it there? Oh, we missed the blue. What? Now we have two routes that say, hey, we can go ahead and insta beat that man press right there. And CeeDee Lamb should have been a touchdown right there. I don't know what type of rack animation or whatever we got, but CeeDee Lamb, don't even celebrate that. That should be a touchdown. So yeah, this is just something that I want you guys to be aware of. Now, let's go over to mud.gg and talk about some cards that are really, really good because of this. All right, so we're here on mud.gg, okay? So a card that I think everyone is saying is the best receiver in the game, obviously, is Marvin Harrison Jr., right? The thing on this card, though, is, right, we talked about double me, we talked about max security. The X factors that work to beat the press are double me and max security. Yak 'em up isn't going to do a good job. Grab and smash, rack them up, not going to do a good job. What we want is the double me and the max security. However, though, there is a new twist as well. We do not want the charge up X factor. Why do we not want the charge up X factor? Because Aiden Hutchinson counters these charge up X factors. So then the bottleneck will just win and you don't have any sort of like threat to beat the press, right? So we don't want the charge up X factors. What we want is we want a card like CeeDee Lamb. So what does CeeDee Lamb get that almost no other player in the game gets? That, of course, is going to go ahead and be the built-on double me for 0 AP right here. So he has built-on double me for 0 AP. So that's one receiver spot we have taken care of. What about 2 and 3? So I'm going to talk about two cards that maybe you don't want to play at receiver, but you might want to think about it with this bottleneck meta. The first one is going to be Evan Ingram right here. This is a tight end, but he also has a receiver build as well. He's 6'3", 240, 97 speed, 98 acceleration. Again, what does Evan Ingram get, right? He gets the double me for 0 AP. And I think the double me is better than the max security, but the max security can go ahead and beat the press. Now, who is the last card that gets a baked on X factor that we can really take advantage of, right? This is going to be a card that when he came out, everyone was talking about, oh, he counters KOs, he counters KOs. But again, now it's like there's a card that might be really, really needed for this meta. It's going to be Herman Moore right here. So Herman Moore, the biggest thing is getting that max security built on for 0 AP. And again, I get he doesn't get the route tech for 0 AP. I feel like we have a lot of AP on offense. You know, a lot of people when this card first dropped talked about max security countering KOs, but you have 3 receivers right here with built-on X factors that can all insta beat the man press potentially. And I really only think you need 2 depending on your formation. You just really want a threat to where you can run like regular man beaters, right? And that's just the point we're at to the game right now. X factors countering X factors. We're kind of playing Pokemon, but yeah, boys, I did want to go ahead and make this video because honestly, man, CD Lamb, I think has a pretty good argument. You know, I don't think a lot of people were giving him too much credit for being potentially wide receiver 1, but I think there's a world where with this double me and bottleneck X factor, I don't hate that take at all. Again, it's 0 AP as well. Evan Ingram, CD Lamb, 2 cards that I would recommend playing at receiver, but if you don't want to do that, we do have Herman Moore as well, and I expect even more built on double me's, even more built on max security, so on like that. And again, just a final summary of the video, I'm not necessarily saying that insta beat the man press every single time, right? But it does give you a chance, which at the end of the day, man, I don't know about y'all, but I really just want that chance, right? I want them to have to respect a streak and not feel comfortable man pressing me every single play. So yeah, boys, I hope y'all did enjoy the video, man. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Madden 24 Ultimate Team content just like this. Now, if you guys do want to go ahead and see me use some of this stuff live, again, we're going to be messing around in the U-trips quite a bit. I actually have a couple things that I really, really like in this offense. I think not a lot of people run it, and there's a couple nasty things we can do out of it. So if you guys do want to go ahead and see that, I stream here on YouTube and Twitch every single day, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. To watch on the YouTube side of things, make sure to hit that noti bell as well. You'll be notified every time I upload or go live here. Or if you want to watch on the Twitch, check the links in the description, hit that Twitch with a follow. But if you guys do want another video to watch, check out this one right here.